You want to know why? And supposedly in 2015 he turned 80. I thought he was already like 86 or 87 or something, but he might be 83 this year. And someone said his DNA proved that he was been alive until recently, so he might have died this year, but or that, or maybe he just doesn't want to be, he's told certain people if he's hosted, and he had a MySpace years ago, and he was doing self tributes, and it didn't even say Elvis Presley, but it looked like Elvis Presley, or he had a bunch of Elvis Presley pictures, and he had a cell phone in 1983, one of those big cell phones, one of those big ones. And anyways, so I know why the second floor of Graceland probably was closed, why they couldn't access during tours of Graceland, why, and then the house part of it, the mansion part of it, or the house part of it, why the second floor was not, why they didn't want to show the second floor. Because because I kind of predict, I don't bet, but I kind of predict that Elvis Presley has been living on the second floor. Like, he's lived in Europe, he's lived in Australia, he's lived in South America, whichever was first or second or third, I don't know. But he went back to Graceland, and then he's been living, and then sometimes he's living in a few states, maybe a couple states, I don't know, maybe a few. But then he went back to Graceland, and he's like, Priscilla, and she probably knew, but yeah, or they, Sonny said, but she said, he's been out of the spotlight for so many years, and so they kept it on the low. But he's been living on the second floor at Graceland. Elvis Aaron Presley. So that's why Elvis Aaron Presley, or that's why the second floor of Graceland, is not land. That's why they don't do tours on the second floor, because he's living in one of the rooms on the second floor. But he's 83 now, I think. He's in his 80s, and if he did die, then he died. But if not, then he's in his 80s, and he just doesn't want to, he just wanted to go live back in Graceland. But if there's DNA tests, then like when he actually dies, because his true fans know him, they wouldn't hurt a guy in his 80s. They wouldn't do that. So he's an old man, so they wouldn't do that. But yeah, but that's why it's been off limits, because the supposed Elvis Aaron Presley's on the second floor. And we don't want to keep saying, 1977. Oh, no, because it was a wax body in the open casket, if there was an open casket. It was, and like 9 other things. And it's just, it wasn't.